Hello everybody, this is Conquering History Games, and welcome to the tutorial for the game Praetorians. This is an old RTS game from, well, not super old, it's just from 2003, and I've been having trouble recording the tutorial and then managing to edit it and then upload it to the channel. So what I decided to do is I'm just going to live stream me going through the tutorial of this game, and the cool thing about me doing the tutorial of it is I'm going to be able to, in real time, answer any questions that you guys have. Now, of course, I know how to play the game already. I've already gone through the tutorial. I did when I was a kid. I'm doing it again now. And we're just going to see how the game works, because it's a fairly long campaign, and I think people would be more into it if they knew how the game functioned. So I'm going to always have a link to this video in the description of all the campaign videos of me going through Praetorians, so that if you're somebody who's a subscriber and you see me upload it, and you're going, oh, this game looks interesting, but he's not explaining how the mechanics work, you can just refer to this video and know how it's done. Okay, so thank you. Now let me just make sure that the live stream is functioning. So we're gonna drop out of the game for a second here, so you can just check out my wallpapers. Oops, that's a little awkward. I'll never have a good one. I never ever will. I never will. But yeah, we're just gonna check that the chat is functioning. All right, little echo. Okay, we're good. And hopefully, I hope that my voice sounds okay, because I am feeling, I've been a little sick today. I'm a little stuffy, so that's what's going on there. But since nobody's saying that the audio is messed up at all, I will just go ahead and start the tutorial. So in Praetorians, you are playing mostly, not entirely, but the way it starts is that you are Caesar, and it's the year 59 BC, as it says here, and Julius Caesar has formed an alliance with Marcus Crassus, the richest man in Rome, and Pompey the Great, Rome's most renowned general. Together, their goal is to control not just Rome, but the entire Roman Empire. Although technically it was still a republic at the time. This mission acts as your first tutorial. Your goal is to guide a group of raw recruits as they head towards Caesar's new legions being formed in northern Italy. Alright, so we're just gonna get the little introduction thing, and we're just gonna play through the tutorial. That's all it is, so everybody can understand how this works. So these tutorials, you're going to know how far along we are at any given moment, because as you can see here, this is page 1 of 19. So this is it. This is Praetorians. First thing, selecting infantry, pretty obvious. You just click them. So we have auxiliary infantry here. They're very weak. If we zoom in on them as best we can with these 2003 graphics, we'll see that they are not very well armored at all. They basically just have a helmet. But they have a special ability here next to their icon called the pilum, which means that they can throw these as a volley. This is, of course, a Roman spear. Over here, we have our spearmen, which is a different type of unit. We have two kind of less than half units of them here, made of 12 out of 30 instead of a full 30. So these infantry are a full 30 out of 30, making up this unit. This is only 12 out of 30. And they have some special abilities of their own. Instead of throwing spears, though, because they are carrying their spears, they can assume different types of formation. So, for example, this is what they look like normally. They can go into a stationary formation where they can't move. Well, they can move, but they'd have to break formations. But stationary formation is preferable, so it's very good against cavalry charges. And then you've got protecting formation here, which is for... if you're running into any enemy archers. This lessens the damage that the unit will take. And then finally over here you have auxiliary archers, who are the ranged unit of the Romans. Obviously, as archers, they are not good at melee. Their special ability is that they can assume a stationary formation, which again means that they can't move. They're not mobile at all, but they get a broader range to attack. Now, all you have to do if you want to select all of these on your screen is you can click and drag them. And then, as you can see, every unit has its own icon, or if there's more than one of the same unit, you get 2 bars. So for example here, the 2 spearmen. So these 2 spearmen can actually be joined together if I wanted to. Actually, I don't. Okay, I probably shouldn't get ahead of it, because what the game is doing is actually disabling some of the effects, some of the certain unit things that I can do until it talks about it in the tutorial. Which I suppose is a good thing, so you don't get lost in the tutorial. But as I've said, I've played this before. Now, once you have everybody selected, you can put them into a grouping up here. There's a couple of ways I can do it. I am just going to hold down Control and then hit 2. So now, if let's say I only have one of these units selected, the auxiliary infantry, but I want to select everybody, all I have to do on my keyboard is hit the number 2, and everybody gets selected. If you're not even looking at the group, like let's say I'm over here, I'm looking at this area where there's no fog of war, and I want to get to that group quickly, just double tap it, and it just instantly clicks over there. Now the game wants us to actually move. See, we're almost halfway done already. They want us to move towards the broken archway. So that's right here. All you do is click R. Let's start moving towards the archway. Already done. So this is our regular walking speed. If you double click or hold down Control while saying move, and notice that these auxiliary archers, because they were in a stationary formation, they immediately reassume it once they've stopped. You can hold down Control and click R, and now they're going to run. They're going to run this way. But if you look at one of these units, you'll see this eats up their stamina. So stamina determines how long you can run, and other things as well. So that you can't run for an infinite amount of time. In order to turn, all you do is hold down the right mouse button and then rotate which direction they're gonna look in. So you see here, there's this arrow. So I want them to come over here, but I want them to be facing towards the archers. They'll do just that. Anybody who's played an RTS game already knows this kind of stuff. But again, these are for people who have never heard of this game, or maybe they've never played RTS games or anything something specific like this, because this game does have its own unique mechanics sometimes. So we're going to go ahead and grab everybody now. Again, we're just clicking 2. And they want us to go to the riverside, so let's start walking over here. And also, I think I haven't mentioned it, but when you see me zooming in and out, I'm just using the mouse wheel for that. And in fact, what I think we could do here is just double click. So again, we're just gonna use up that stamina. That's that little blue bar, just so we can get there quicker. I usually wouldn't be advancing this quickly through unknown terrain, but it's the tutorial. We're gonna be just fine.
Objective complete.
All right, cutscene.
Ave, Roman friends. My name is Agrado of Talagata, and I've been sent to be your guide. But beware, for there are Gallic bandits in the area, and I fear they may have already barred our way.
Mission objectives have changed.
Okay, so we now have a scout, which is a very important unit in the game. Hold on a second, headphone troubles. Okay, a very important unit in the game, not for combat, of course, but for scouting.
Immediately.
And in the campaign, they usually have special names like this. This is a hawk scout. Alright, so now we know there are some enemy forces over here. There is a small area where there is a fog of war, as well as up here, although I don't think any units could be stationed there. However, on the other side, we do have a lot of road over this kind of a hill here. So what you can do with a hawk scout is you click send, and you send out his hawk. So because a hawk obviously doesn't have any trouble going through trees or climbing rocks, it just goes right over. Now using your scout is going to eat up its stamina, so you can't just have it out there forever. But it does allow it to get a good look at the area. So wait a minute, I'm seeing there are some enemy units over here. Let's send the hawk out. Okay, it looks like there's a almost full unit of infantry, as well as some more here. So there's a lot of infantry here in the northeast corner of the map, or I guess depending on what's true north. This top corner here is what we'll say. But for right now, we just have to secure that bridge. Unfortunately, yeah, we still cannot actually join together our spear units. So we're going to send the spearmen, as well as the auxiliary archers forward. You want to keep your auxiliary infantry in the back. You don't want them in combat. The most you usually want to do with them as far as combat goes directly is maybe using their special ability to throw their spears. After that, though, you do not want them in a melee. They're not going to last for any amount of time. They're just not good at defense at all. Let's also keep these guys in a standard formation for right now. All right, we now see them. Let's get some ranged fire on them, and we'll just have our spearmen go forward to deal with them. All right, we've thrown their spears. The infantry have thrown their spears, so now we're gonna pull them back. Okay, we're done. Too easy. We outnumbered them by quite a large amount, so obviously we didn't have any trouble. Now the game is allowing me to actually join the two troops together. So you just hold these two together. What I like to do is just press J instead of actually going to the button down here. But now the two 12s become a 24 out of 30. You can just divide them down here and then just rejoin them together like that. There's also a way to balance them if you have uneven amounts. But again, I usually just use the J. So we're going to keep moving with a unified spear unit. We didn't see with our scout earlier any enemy units here along this road, so we should be fine until we get to the hill here. Again, we're just going to click 2 so everybody is selected. Notice how even after I join the units together, they're still a part of the selected group. Oh, looks like we have some bowmen here. You know what bowmen means? We're going to select our spearmen, and we're going to put them in a protecting formation, and we're also going to just go ahead and tell our auxiliary infantry to wait. So yeah, the spearmen in their protecting formation should be able to take any hits from these bowmen a little bit easier. Although it looks like the bowmen are just instead going directly for the auxiliary archers. Aha! It would appear that there are some more enemy units within this forest. Infantry can usually go into forest with actually I don't know if there's any exceptions at all to that rule, but we do have some units over there. We're going to move to standard formation so we can attack these infantry, and we're going to double click with our archers, get them out of this melee. We let them get a little bit too close, unfortunately. It looks like I actually might need to get my auxiliary infantry involved here, just throwing those spears. Okay, and we're going to make short work of them. Unfortunately, we lost 3 archers doing that. But now we're gonna send in not the spearmen. Notice spearmen. Spearmen depend on formations. They cannot go into forests. So we have to instead send in on our auxiliary infantry and our auxiliary archers. You see, I was immediately proven wrong. I'm shaking the rust off, everybody. You cannot actually send spearmen into a forest, but we're going to find these Gaul bandits, these bowmen, and we're going to make quick work of them. And this is the silhouetted way that the game chooses to depict enemy units inside of a forest. So that's going to be no problem. Let's start getting our scout over here. And we're done already. Something's on the hill. What? What? See, explore the elevation with the hawk. It seems that I was one step ahead of the tutorial. But yes, it wants us to take a look up here. I did think I saw some infantry heading up there. There is some infantry down here as well. But it still looks like it's just the one infantry unit up here. It shouldn't be any sort of an issue dealing with them, especially because we outnumber them. Even though they're up on a hill, usually units that are up on a hill are going to be more difficult to deal with. Let's try to take care of these guys first. Again, we're just going to throw some spear volleys here. Alright, we're all done. But it says we've completed the mission objectives, but have we really? You see, well, whenever you hit F9, like this, you can look at your objectives. So I've met the guide at the river, that's why it's green, it's done. Also, hitting F9 allows you to look at a chat log, so you could know what's been going on over the course of the mission. And it says I have to basically I have to get my scout actually to the end of the valley. So since it looks like the infantry here have just made their way down the hill, that's complete. We completed another objective. What was that? We've destroyed all enemy forces. So there's not going to be anything that stops Agrado here from actually making it to the end of the valley, and then we can move on to part 2 of the tutorial. Come along here.
Objective complete.
Kind of
We have
walking funny,
completed
isn't he?
our mission.
All right, 1/4 of the way through, and I'm sure everything's been easily digestible so far. All right, part 2. Whoa! I'm so sorry. See, that's what I was talking about. How I've been kind of stuffy and feeling sick today, but I think my voice sounds all right. There just might be a couple more of those sneezes before this is over. Now, after triumphantly being elected consul of Rome, Julius Caesar secures the office of governor of the provinces for northern Italy and Gaul. Sorry, for a year-long term. Now we will guide the recruits towards Caesar's future provinces whilst trying to determine the origin of the latest bandit attacks on nearby villages. Let's get to it. A village in the mountains. And just a reminder to the chat, any questions you have, please do ask them. This is why I'm doing the live stream.
Quickly, to arms. The enemy is upon us.
All right, we've got some issues. We're being attacked first, so let's take care of that, and then we will get into the rest of the tutorial. We do have a couple new units here available to us, but this should be no problem at all. Again, we outnumber them, we outgun them, or outbow them, as may be the case. And it's very easy to see how strong any either your unit or an enemy unit is just by hovering over it.
We must get there at once and rescue my people. Hurry up, my Roman friends.
Okay, he's saying that we have to move quickly. Well, first we're going to select the Centurion. This is a new special unit. He increases the stamina of the men around him, so that's good when you want to run. Next to him is over here, Gabinius Illyricus, who is a physician. And as a physician, obviously, he heals. So, we're gonna heal up everybody. We can actually directly heal, so he moves faster. So we're gonna take care of these spearmen. Oh, actually, these spearmen have been hurt more, so we're gonna have our physician take care of them. Meanwhile, you see, you want to be multitasking whenever you get the chance in this game. We're gonna have our scout send out the hawk. We're gonna be making our way towards that village that's in the kind of the top left corner of the map. So I want to see who's ready to meet us out there on that road. Okay, so our spearmen are almost completely healed. Taking a little bit longer than I'd like.
Your orders?
All right. Also, something interesting. I don't think it tells it in the tab, in the tutorial ever. But if you hit tab, you get rid of the whole user interface. So that's kind of nice. Let's bring this down a little bit. Okay, so we have a few units out here. Just looks like some infantry. Nothing too serious. These spearmen are now all healed up. And we're going to start learning about how villages work, how to attack them, how to hold them, and things like that. So we have to destroy the enemy garrison. We're going to have our scout here stay in the rear. Let's go ahead and select all of our military units, and we're going to assign them to a hotkey.
We are on the way.
Meanwhile, our centurion, we're going to make him number 3. And our physician, of course, will make him number 4. So this way we can just use those hotkeys to get him moving much faster. And I suppose I should get my scout here as well. Okay, see, here's the thing that how, like, the archers, they move a little faster than the spearmen, so it can be a little annoying sometimes, as you can tell, because the archers want to move up front. I suppose it's brave, but it is also stupid. I could run there, but I'm not going to. I'm not gonna. Why? Actually, I don't have any reason why, so let's just run instead. We're gonna run. We're gonna use that stamina. Go, 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 go. All right, each of you, take an infantry unit. Uh-oh, it looks like they're supported by some bowmen, so we had better get involved quickly. We're gonna get our physician up close, but not close enough to where he's being attacked, so he could be actively healing the men. Come on, get close. It looks like we've lost about half of the spearman unit. Oh, unfortunately, looks like there was some infantry that were hiding over here in the forest. I didn't account for that, and so now they've managed to sneak their way over to my archers. But it looks like all of them have survived the encounter, so it's not a huge deal. All right, so now that we've done that, it's time to attack the garrison. That's what this little tower here is. This garrison is how they actually control the town, and they can build units inside of it. In fact, I shouldn't call it a town. It's a village. As you can see, there's only 200 people in it. Archers are pivotal. They are the thing you need more than anything else, basically, in order to destroy a garrison, because while you can bring it down slowly via melee, the fire arrows are actually the fastest way to do it.
I am in command.
And we're also healing the spearmen during this time.
We are ready. Yes, General.
Alright, they're almost done. Yeah, 2/3 of the way done. Let's get our scout over here. And then we'll start thinking about where we're going to go next.
We should stay here and find out more about these bandits. Agrado, tell your people that anybody that wishes to join and help us is welcome.
Alright, now we need to build a garrison. But we do not have the unit that usually is used for building garrisons. Also, there's a chieftain here. These chieftains are how the barbarians control these areas. So what we're going to do is demote this unit. There's actually no hotkey for demoting because it's not something you want to accidentally do, and it requires 2 clicks. You have to click demote, and then you have to confirm the demotion. So we've demoted these these spearmen into auxiliary infantry, who are what you use for all of your building projects, such as, in this case, building a garrison on the village. These other spearmen were going to come over here because we have not cleared the area east of the river, so we could very well be seeing potentially some attacks from there. Also, another nice little detail I like about this game is these little white splotches, which are meant to represent the bones of the dead. I think that's kind of cool myself.
Yes, General.
Now, while we're waiting for that garrison to be built, 'cause it's going to take a little while, let's talk about some of the other more subtle features of this game. For example, this auxiliary archer unit, you can actually keep track of its kills. It has killed 22 soldiers. This one has killed 25, this one has killed only 12. So as you can see, it's really my archers who are doing the heavy lifting in this army.
I am in command.
Now, Caius Titus Rudis here can actually do extra stamina regeneration by selecting this. Unfortunately, nobody needs any more stamina right now, so it's not really relevant. Let's move our physician over here and get our scout looking to the east. Let's have him look over here in the direction of this bridge. I want to see what's going on. I want to see if there's any maybe enemy units that are waiting in these areas for me. Information is power.
I am in command.
Okay, now these auxiliary archers could also be demoted. I think almost any Roman infantry unit could be demoted into auxiliary infantry, because all auxiliary infantry do is just wear clothes and a helmet. So they have their hands free and they're not wearing as much so that they can build. Okay, how far along are we here? Okay, so this garrison unit is almost done. I don't think we saw any units over there. We've used up a fair amount of stamina, though. Let's recall... Okay, we can also have him scout by clicking scout, but I actually don't want to do that. Now we can recruit a troop. What you have to do to recruit troops from villages is you have to send in one of your leaders, in the Roman case, a centurion, into the village. Then you get options to build more units. What we are going to do is build another unit of auxiliary infantry, because we are going to be doing a fair amount of construction right now. Right now, because again, we're in the tutorial, everything hasn't been unlocked for us, we only have access to auxiliary infantry, which we've already seen, as well as archers and spearmen. We're going to have many more units that we're going to be able to recruit by the time the tutorial, and indeed once the campaign starts. By the time the tutorial's over. Alright, so we've built some more auxiliary infantry. Auxiliary infantry can also construct things besides garrisons. For example, a defense tower, which we are going to place right here at this fork in the road. Defense towers are very, very nice pieces of equipment, defensive structures, because the things that you put in them, if you put archers, they will, of course, shoot their arrows from a higher position, so they have better range, but also, when the tower itself is being attacked, they will throw rocks down to repel the attacking force. Again, making it an excellent defensive structure. So what we're just going to do is we're going to also get some more spearmen on their way. Right now, they're going to take, let's see, another route, 42 seconds. There's no resources in this game. You don't mine gold, you don't chop down wood and things like that in order to be able to build certain units. There is something called honor points, which we have over here. I don't want to talk about it right now, though, because it's just going to confuse you. The point here is that units are paid for in time. So auxiliary infantry, that's a very weak combat unit. So it's going to take you 30 seconds to build, as well as 30 villagers, of course, because you're training them. But it's very basic training. Spearmen, being in a spear unit is a little bit more complicated. You got to know how to move in formation. You got to know how to do that protecting formation and stationary formation, and you've got to create the armor for them and things like that. So that's going to take 49 seconds to build. And then auxiliary archers, while they're not very good in melee combat, they are extremely good in as ranged forces.
Yes, sir.
So
Your orders?
they cost a full minute in order to produce.
Yes, sir.
But we're now going to defend. We should be getting attacked any moment now from
Yes, General.
barbarians.
General?
Let's go ahead and send our scout out, so maybe he can, or hawk anyway, I should say. We're not going to send the scout himself out, but we're just going to go kind of peek around here and see if we can spot any of the enemy units
We are
on their
ready.
way. We're also going to
Following
just
your
form
order.
that stationary formation
Yes,
here
General.
to keep them bottled up. Huh. No sign of them yet,
Orders.
which is just fine with me.
And you
Also, we're
orders.
gonna set these auxiliary units to defensive.
General.
Okay, great. We've got more spearmen
Yes,
now.
sir.
Let's move them forward as well. And we're also gonna build more archers. So we're just gonna keep building more and more units. And you can queue them up. You just click them. Of course, population is a problem. So we're already down. Once these 2 units are done, we're gonna have used over half the population of this village. Where are these enemy units? Strange.
Your orders?
Are they up here?
Immediately.
Where are they going to come from? Very odd. Very odd. But it's kind of a good thing because it's allowing me to build more units.
We are ready.
So auxiliary infantry, as well as being able to construct things, of course, they could also repair things. So if my garrison was hurt in any way, they would be able to take care of that. All right, looks like we've got some pikemen coming up. Pikemen, which, you know, they're barbarian pikemen, which has pros and cons. Something you may notice is that these units are only units of 16 compared to the 30 of the Roman legions. Of course, these aren't actual legionnaires, but we will get to those later. They do tend to be of higher quality than normal, which kind of makes up for their lack of numbers. And numbers is something that they're also going to have on their side, as we'll see as we move into the campaign. It looks like these bowmen are not going to move forward, though, so we're going to have to go across the river and take the fight to them. Now this could be an interesting experiment here. We're going to see how a protected formation group of spearmen of 17 does against 16 barbarian bowmen. Now, barbarian bowmen are much better at melee than... Oh, there was an infantry unit in here. Yep, we're going to lose these spearmen.
Yes, sir.
So that is why we're going to continue to just stay back here and let them come to us now. Let's get another unit of spearmen ready to replace them. Yeah, and once again, actually, our defensive towers have a good enough range that we can attack them. So we can pull them back. Let's get also our
We are ready.
let's get our physician to move a little bit more, a little closer, so we can heal these units.
Yes, sir.
All right, more spearmen here already, and we took care of them. Now the infantry are going to have to come for us, and they're just going to be peppered constantly. Let's see, each volley is doing about 500 damage or so to them. It is a little bit significant. Oh, they just threw some axes at us, though. It's a little rude. So that's their special ability. These barbarian infantry is their ability to throw axes. So it's kind of the equivalent of the Roman legions, who are going to be throwing their spears before they ever engage in combat. All right, that's probably the last unit that we're going to be having to worry about. Let's get another unit of spearmen ready. You do usually want to have more melee units than archer ones.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're all done. At least with the defense. Now we have to go on the offense. I'm not sure why it's not speaking. Oh yeah, there we go. So now that we're done, we are going to go on the attack. And what I'm actually going to do, because I don't want any sort of accidents to happen, is I'm going to leave behind my physician and such. But we are going to take our spearmen and our archers and everybody else, and we're going to take them out to the east side of the map. And we are going to go deal with that defensive tower.
We are on the way.
Of course, the melee units are going to be good for dealing with any other melee units or even bowmen that we see, and we are definitely going to be needing... oh, wait, we're being attacked by something. I think we are. What's attacking us? Oh, it's something from the woods. They're in the woods, and we can't stop them, so we have to send in the auxiliary infantry and have our archers shoot them. Ambushes are a constant in Gaul. There's so much forest. There's so much to deal with. And we've run out of recruitable population here. We're at 5 out of 200.
Yes, General. Your orders? General?
All right.
Hurrah!
Come on. Come back these guys up. Quickly, quickly now. Quickly. Our auxiliary infantry are actually not doing that bad against them.
For the Emperor!
Good, good. Now, again, I'm not going to bring my physician up, though. I don't feel the need.
Yes, sir.
Now, you'll see here... wait a minute. Oh, never mind, never mind. I was thinking of a different unit. Never mind. We're going to cross here. Actually, we can't because there's forest there. So we're not going to cross there. What we are instead going to do is we're going to get our whole army. We're actually going to reassign what that number 2 slot is and bring them over here to this stone bridge. You see, we could have marched at least part of our army, and in fact, I still might with some of it. We could have just marched it over this river, but the problem is the spearmen would not be able to go through the forest. So what I'm actually going to do here, I'm going to keep this one unit of archers right here ready, but in a defensive stance, because they can move through this forest. When the time comes, they can easily reinforce in this area. But as you can see, we're already under attack. We're already being attacked by the barbarians because they have that defensive tower up on this hill. So that means it has such a good long range, it can actually shoot over the bridge to the other side of the river. So we need to very quickly get up this hill, using up all of our stamina.
Immediately. Yes, sir.
All right, let's try to engage these bowmen in a fight.
General?
All right, we've made it. Now, these archers I'm specifically going to assign to attack these auxiliary archers in the tower. It's very difficult also to fight uphill, but I think we have the situation under control. Oh, maybe not. It looks like we're losing all of our melee forces. Can we, I was gonna say gun down, can we arrow down these pikemen in time? Yeah. Because even though auxiliary archers are not very good at melee, when there's only 2 archer units that we have to deal with, it's not really a big deal. And now we've got them outnumbered 3-1 while they are in this tower, so we're going to be able to handle them pretty quickly here. And the thing with these towers is, units that are inside of them don't die when the tower collapses. They just are forced outside of the tower. Which I guess you could weigh the pros and cons of that, but it's on fire. Because it's on fire, we can't really shoot it anymore because it's already being consumed in flames. So what we're going to do is we're going to move back here. In fact, I was hanging around a little bit too long just demonstrating that to you, so I kind of lost that unit. Now the bowmen have been forced out, so we're going to move forward, and it's going to be a massacre. We've got 60 bowmen shooting at 12. They're not going to last too long. And then that should be the end of the tutorial. But real quick, if we go back to the village here, you'll see that the population has begun to recuperate. That is what happens over time. As long as, I guess, presumably as long as you have at least 2 villagers in there, they're going to be making babies over time. All right, let's finish it up now. Mission objectives are not complete. Yep, we do have still some units out here in the woods. Let's see if we can take care of these infantry real quick. I'm really hoping right here that 2 archers can beat 1 infantryman, because they sure can beat those bowmen. Unfortunately, not all of them are concentrating on that, so we are running into a bit of trouble here. Oh, and our spearmen got caught up fighting some infantry, but let's try to quickly get them over here as fast as possible. Yeah, we took care of those infantrymen. We should now be able to deal with the barbarians. And we got another unit on its way as well.
We are ready. We are ready.
Well, this is kind of tight. Let's see here. They're at 1,050. You see, it's not just the numbers, it's the health. And as you can see, the bowmen were able to win that one. I don't think my spearmen are going to be able to coax them out.
Immediately.
We could hope.
Yes,
Let's try to bring them over here and see if we can get them to actually walk out of the woods so that they can continue to try and shoot me. I don't think it's actually going to work, though. Very unfortunate. And we don't have enough approval population to create some bowmen. Oh, but here they come. All right, they got one volley off, but we've caught them now. Note how as the unit itself gets smaller, the stamina max number also gets smaller. Another reason that you want to try and keep fully healed
These bandits
units.
are Aedui Gauls, but the Aedui are Roman allies. We should pay a visit to the Aedui noble Dubalix, whose lands lay to the north. I'm led to believe that he is no friend of Rome.
Objective complete. We have completed our mission.
All right, fantastic. We're done. Next, tutorial number 3. Tracking the prey. And we're going to meet some more interesting units. All right. Now, here they are, the infamous legionnaires of Rome. Oh, I'm sorry, that's something with my oven. Sorry about that. It was just doing the self-clean thing. All right, now these are the legionnaires that also have, they're made of 30. They have their special abilities. In this case, the turtle formation, of course. We all know it. Takes a couple seconds for them to actually get it up, so you don't want to be doing this during being attacked by arrow fire. Although sometimes you need to. And then you've got the wolf scout. The wolf can go into forests that are really thick, so we can use him to explore the terrain out here. Oh, wait a minute. What have we here? We got a big old forest
Yes, General.
that we're going to need to take
Yes,
care of,
sir.
I think.
Following your orders.
Let's get our legionnaires moved over here. Of course, we also still have a spearman, physician, centurion, auxiliary infantry, auxiliary archers, and hawk scout. Everybody got it? Of course you do. You guys remember. You guys are smart. Now, what we could do right now is actually go ahead and take control of this town. So this town is called Matisco. I don't right now see any units back here. I guess I was just needlessly paranoid. No, I was not. There is some infantry right there. Let's go ahead and attack them before they can get their hands on my auxiliary infantry. And of course, we want the archers to be supporting. I don't think the spearmen are really going to be needed for this fight. Barbarian infantry have no chance in a fight against Roman legionnaires, certainly when they're outnumbered. Certainly not when they're outnumbered. Barbarian warriors, which is a unit we'll meet later, that's another story. But we're already having the physician take care of them. Things are going to be just fine. Actually, let's be sure that I've actually cleared this whole area out. We're gonna send in both of my legionnaire units to make sure that it is clear, because sometimes you got to be careful with these barbarians. They send out a couple units from the forests, but then they still keep some in the back to ambush you with. They're very sneaky, these Gauls. Okay, it looks like we got everyone there, so nothing to worry about at all. So our garrison is okay. It's complete. What do? We send in our centurion. This lets us take control of the town. Uh-oh, trouble. Alright, so some barbarians are on their way. We have to quickly get ready to defend it, but it says they want, or wait, are they just stopping there at the bridge? But we have a new objective. We have to advance towards a fortress that is in the north of the map. So if we follow this road here, you'll see there's a bridge, and then the bridge turns right, and then there's this big open space, and then we've got a fortress. Oh, okay, they were attacking after all. All right, well let's take care of that. This shouldn't be too much of a problem. Where'd my archers go? Yeah, let's get them over here to support. The legionnaires all on their own are still going to be just fine taking care of them, but you know, we'll still send some help and start building some reinforcements. As you see, the spearmen, the legionnaires, they've all been quickly massacred. Let's go ahead and take on a turtle formation and advance forward. See, my spearmen weren't being protected, and they were suffering from a continuous volley, so that's a problem. And it also appears that we are taking some sort of arrow fire from atop this hill, so let's also go take care of that. Yes, we have 2 bowman units. This one, they must have run around the edge here, but barbarian bowmen are very, very fast. It's a real problem sometimes. But I think with my physician here and a couple of turtled up units, we're going to be just fine. Let's get our physician out here because we need him. If he dies, then we will lose the campaign, so we don't want that to happen. Let's get him out of the way. Okay. See, and that's nice that the game notifies you when, you know, you're about to lose. So we are going to be attacking that fortress eventually, so we are going to need lots of units to do that with. So that's why I'm going to queue up quite a few right now. All right. So now that these have all been taken care of, let's actually start to advance towards the bridge. And now we're going to, again, bring our physician along, just so we can get a look at what's going on while simultaneously healing our units. Goodness, did you guys hear that? Somebody tearing up my street. Alright, and of course, scouts, so important. We want to make sure there's no bowmen waiting on the other side of this bridge for us, which might force us to rush across to stop them, or pull back. Alright, we've got a second unit of auxiliary infantry that are ready. We are going to need a fair amount of them. In fact, we might even need a third, so I'm going to queue up yet more. Assaulting fortresses are very difficult, and quite often require large amounts of troops to do it with. But I think we're all in the clear here.
Yes, sir. Following your orders. I can heal the wounded.
Okay, so let's assemble all of these men. And like it says, let's make sure we're back in a standard formation. We're going to advance towards the fortress, and then we'll be getting a cutscene, and it's going to allow us to begin to do more things with our auxiliary infantry. And yeah, we've got all these queued up, and we're going to still have half the population of the village to work with. Boy, these archers though, they just love to be out in front like it's a parade. No, no. Let's go clear this area. You see all this forested area here? That spells trouble. That's what that is. You never want to do that.
Romans, if you come looking for Jubilix, you have wasted your time. Here's got to meet our Helvetii friends. You are not welcome here, Roman scum. Go back to your precious homeland. If you attempt to climb these walls, you will all die.
Alright, so that is our objective. We have to get into that forest. Right now, we have no way of doing it. Uh-oh, wait a minute. But first, they're sallying out the barbarian cavalry. We're just gonna engage them with our melee forces immediately. Is that all of them? I'm hoping it is. Let's not get the auxiliary infantry in there. Actually, we might have to do that. Get them involved. Let's get some reserves moving up quickly. Cavalry, particularly barbarian cavalry, can be very powerful, and if you're not careful, can massacre your infantry. As you can see, one of my legionnaires is already getting torn up. They've really been hanging in there despite being so incredibly outnumbered. Of course, part of that was because I didn't have any spearmen, but the point is, cavalry can be dangerous. Even during a siege, where you think they couldn't be very useful because they're trapped behind the walls, if you're not careful, the AI will throw them out at you, that you will be, they'll attack your archers, they'll attack your ladders as they approach, they'll attack your auxiliary infantry who you're going to be using to construct certain pieces of equipment to help with the siege. Speaking of which, we're going to build a ladder. Now, ladders are not the best piece of siege equipment around. They're very weak. They can be torn apart very easily by cavalry units that sally out, and even if a couple of good volleys hit them, that could also be a problem. So we've built our ladder. Another alternative for a siege assault is building catapults, and we're going to build at least a couple of them. All of these construction things, of course, require auxiliary infantry. The catapults are very good for shooting at enemy units, and they also are good for destroying things, such as the front gate. And the front gate is, I think, the way that I'm going to go. We might attempt a ladder assault. I wouldn't count on it too much. But we're definitely going to need some more heavy infantry. What have we got queued up? All right, we have a legionnaire. We don't have enough villagers in there to make another one after that. So we're going to bring up this auxiliary infantry. And because auxiliary infantry are not good in combat, and especially not good in a siege fight, we're going to be building lots and lots of catapults with them. So we're just going to hit shift
Immediately.
and then set up another queued up.
We are ready.
At least it should have.
Yes, sir. Yes, General.
See, now if we hold these two, notice how this legionnaire unit has 11 out of 30 men. This one has 28 out of 30. You can actually balance them. So now they have 19 and 20, which, because it was an odd number, that was the closest thing that could have been done. All right, we got another unit out, another unit of legionnaires. We're just at 21. Okay. So now, it's not going to let us continue until we have built at least 3 ladders and at least 3 catapults. Although, I think technically I could just start the assault without having done that. So, we have 2 units of 20 legionnaires, not really that great. They both can, I think, still technically assume turtle formation. Actually, these ones cannot. Usually you want your legionnaires to be as full as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to join them together, which of course we can't because there's more than 30. But now we have a single unit of 30, and then we have this unit of 9. We're just going to demote them, and we're going to use them in order to build another ladder. Because it takes 6 auxiliary infantry to build an assault ladder. We've built these 2 catapults, which you could. Oh no, we're in the process of building all 3, and you can do different things with them. You can, for example, have them do flaming stone, which is good for buildings, and you can also do barrages, which makes them better for when you are attacking enemy infantry units. All right, so they're done, and let's get that 3rd ladder set up, and then we can carry on from there. See, we have this unit of 4 auxiliary infantry over here because we've been building all this stuff. So we're just gonna join them.
Yes, General.
With we're gonna join them together.
Following your orders.
Should be joining them. There we go. Great. Did I already send my infantry over? No, I haven't. We're gonna build another legionnaire. We now can do one more. We're gonna set the rally point up here so he'll automatically begin walking this way when he gets the chance. So where's our Hawk Scout? Hawk Scouts are terrific for these purposes. First, let's also assign everybody here. So we have our ladders. So the ladders constitute a different unit from they are a different unit from auxiliary infantry, even though they're being carried by auxiliary infantry, which I know might sound strange, but that's really how it works.
Yes, sir.
Back to the Hawk Scouts. So the Hawk Scouts are very good because they can look directly into the fortress. You also can get a look at who is on the walls. What kind of defenses are we dealing with here? All right, so I'm seeing a bowman who are actually shooting at the hawk. So we see a bowman over here. We're seeing bowmen in these towers. They're giving them shelter. It's going to make it harder to shoot at them. But besides that, that was all I was really seeing on the wall. So what we could, in theory, try to do is get these legionnaire units, put them in a turtle formation, and kind of slowly start to advance them, and then let's see what we can do with these catapults. Oops, let's just select them, put them on barrage, and we're going to see if we can take out these bowmen. No, we cannot, because they're being sheltered by that roof, as you can see. So instead, we're going to switch to Flaming Stone, and we're going to attack these front gates. All right, I thought you guys were supposed to be in turtle formation. Let's go here. But as you can see, they're beginning to prioritize the catapults. So what you just do, this is why you have backup infantry, is you divide them up and you put them to work repairing the catapults. Actually, we need a little bit more. Let's get them up here. So you actively repair the catapults while they're on fire, which I know is a little weird and wild. Okay, so now, while these guys are busy, let's get them over here and actually attacking the wall with their ladders. Uh-oh, this one's about to fall apart. The bowmen are beginning to move. Let's switch it so that one of these catapults is actually attacking the ones that are on the walls. We should be able to make short work of them. And oh, we almost got that ladder up. Not quite. See, ladders are really, really bad in sieges. I just usually I was only building them because the tutorial asked me to, but typically I do not bother with ladders when it comes to a siege battle. Not in the slightest. All right, how is the gate? It's taking some damage. Oh, but as you can see, its hit points are beginning to rise. That is telling me that somebody inside of the fortress is actively repairing them. Speaking of actively repairing them, why are we not actively repairing these catapults? Let's go, people. Let's go. Let's also join these two together. But we were able to take care of those bowmen with archers of our own. And hopefully we'll be able to take care of these ones in the corner soon, too. We're also gonna build another catapult since the other two we had burned down. Oh, it looks like some bowmen are still attacking us here. We're also gonna get these archers attacking the gate. The gate that's on fire is a gate I like.
Immediately. Your orders,
All right.
General.
So how's it looking? You see, we can't get too low because they're repairing too fast. We could have our legionnaires actually directly begin to attack this, but I worry about exposing them to the arrow fire.
Yes, sir.
All right, these guys should be attacking them now as
Following your
well.
orders.
Yeah, attack these bowmen. What are you waiting for? It's very difficult to attack bowmen in these corners. It's a real pain. Progress is going slow on this gate. And my archers are beginning to suffer.
Yes, sir.
Alright, let's see if we can't build another ladder, and since it's just the one bowman unit, perhaps we can actually get on this ladder here and attack the bowmen. And let's not forget, there are barbarian warriors that are waiting in there as well, so we're going to have to be wary about that.
We are ready.
Alright, let's divide them. Get half of you over here.
Immediately.
The other half. Alright, yeah. Repair this catapult. Please, repair this catapult. Hurry up. My units are acting a little bit funky. Okay, so we're about to run out of these archers. They're almost dead. But again, it's fine. It's fine. It's not the worst thing. Because we're going to get these this ladder, and we're going to set it up right now. And we are actually making progress on this gate. Slow, but we're making progress. Start making another catapult just in case we need it, as well as another ladder. Actually, no, because we need to be repairing this one. Anyway, come on, guys, get the ladder up. You see, it acts so weird. They just never can actually get the dang thing to go up sometimes. Very annoying. Very, very annoying. Alright, but that's fine because we have yet another catapult that's ready to go. Let's get it to the Flaming Stone. Let's get you guys repairing it. I really do hate ladders. Later on, we're going to be able to build siege towers, and my legionnaires will also maybe be able to stop, you know, being dumb like this.
Following your orders.
Come on. Quickly, quickly now. Quickly, quickly.
Yes, sir. Yes, General.
Have the bowmen moved away from the tower? I'm not seeing them.
We are on the way.
Strange. Seems to be some invisible bowmen who are attacking. But the flaming shot should begin to pile up soon.
Your orders? Yes, sir. Your orders?
And let's join these together.
Following your orders.
And then we're gonna build a catapult. Another catapult.
Yes,
Whoa, repair the one we've got.
Following your orders.
Yet they're right here in this corner and I can't shoot at them. How very, very annoying. So what we're gonna do is we actually are gonna let the legionnaires begin to attack. We do have enough of them.
We are on the way.
Just to help that little bit. I don't think I should be suffering any collateral damage from this. We're gonna find out though, I suppose.
Following your orders.
There we go.
Your orders?
We are suffering from the arrow fire, but only a little bit.
Your orders? Yes, sir. Yes, General.
That's all. Let's put them all to work. Okay, we're about to break through here, and we're through. All right, now time to get this chieftain and infantry. And I could have sworn that I had actually seen some barbarian warriors in here. I guess not. Oh, there they come. Now, barbarian warriors could be difficult to deal with. As you saw there, they were throwing slings at the feet of my infantry. What the slings do is they slightly damage the unit, but more importantly, they actually slow it down. Worse than slow it down, they lock them in place. And so units can't move. So that could be very good, for example, during an ambush. If they ambushed my archer units, then they can throw the slings around their feet so they can't run away, and then they'll tear them to pieces very quickly. Now we just need to actually destroy the fortress itself over here, the barracks. We'll have our infantry move in and begin taking care of that, while I also make sure that the whole fortress is clear, which indeed it looks like it is. So let's get attacking. What's going on with these archers? Come over here. Yeah. Very good. All right, so this should not take too much longer. Are there any infantry out here? Oh, the chieftain is still over here. Chieftain, I think. Let's see if these little auxiliary infantry can deal with a single chieftain, the one here in the corner who ran outside of the fortress. He was the one who was saying we needed to go back to our precious homeland and how he was going to kill us and stuff. How's that going, buddy? Yeah, assaulting fortresses can be very difficult, although there are times in the campaign where you have to defend a fortress, and they sure make it seem like that's the harder thing to do. Okay, victory. One more tutorial, and then we're going to call it a day. Tutorial 4, spring of 58 BC, sensing the Helvetii uprising. Julius Caesar leaves Rome and travels quickly to Geneva to take personal control of the proconsul legions. This is the fourth and final tutorial. You must hunt down and eliminate the Aedui nobleman Dubilex before he can convince his men to join him and fight for the Helvetii. Any questions in the chat? Anybody? I've been explaining it well so far, I guess. Except for the person who didn't know who I was playing as. He did not seem to get it.
Dogs. You wanted to see me? Well, here I am. But if you want anything else from me, you'll have to catch me first.
Yeah, so that's what this tutorial is all about, is we're just going to get him. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. We actually will not catch him. We are going to not finish the mission, basically. Let's first get everybody assigned here, and I wanted to also show you guys something else. All right, but because at the very end of the mission, it'll tell us to attack yet another fortress that he's going to be hiding in, but we've already completed the tutorial, so there's really no need to do it. Again, this is just for introduction. But let me show you guys something interesting here. So if right now I've got all my combat troops, my non-specialized troops selected here on the number 2. We've also got some equities, which are some specialized Roman cavalry. They don't have any like special effects or anything. And the tutorial wants me to use them to kill some bowmen who are up here on this higher ground, because they're very good against archer units, and they move fast, and they can kill them very quickly. But let's say I wanted to give them their own hotkey. So let's say I made them hotkey number 9. If I click over here to 2, you'll notice they are no longer selected. Unfortunately, you can only have a unit assigned to one hotkey at a time. So basically, I now have my infantry all selected, and now I'm going to have my cavalry selected. We're going to just have the infantry begin slowly moving forward. We have our specialized units over here. Of course, I guess we can make them number 1, but they're not super important, although we do not want them to die. So I guess in that sense, they're very important. Now, we'll begin to rush forward. Equities move very fast and have a nice amount of stamina to do it with. So you see they're beginning to pepper my poor spearmen here. We're going to make quick, short work of these bowmen, as you'll see. Now what I want to do with these spearmen is I want to put them right here. This is a river crossing. Ambushes, every corner. Gotta watch out for them. And the bowmen are all dead already. So now a flank attack is coming. We've got infantry that are positioned up there. We're going to keep these guys assigned to number 2. The 2 spearmen, we're going to assign them to number 3. You can notice this is my spearman selection group because since it only has spearmen in it, it gets the spear logo. Whereas any sort of units that have that are mixed, you get the several Roman heads here. All right, now there's a main enemy force up this way that we're going to have to worry about. I could have sent my Wolf Scout ahead, but I just honestly am not bothered to even do it. We're just going to advance forward here. And I think my spearmen will be able to hold just fine. Let's get the and they've got their physician right here. And here they come, the noblemen, the cavalry. They're coming fast.
Yes, sir. For the Emperor.
Now, what we could do here, let's see. Yeah, the noblemen are already dead. This is generally how you want to use your equities. We're going to have them run around the main battle here and immediately go for the bowmen. You see one of them got caught up, but cavalry tend to be much more agile. So they're good for these sort of jobs. All right, fantastic. We're all done. I think that's all the enemy forces. Yes.
Hurry up, my loyal men! Destroy the bridge! Burn it to the ground!
So as Dubilex just demonstrated, wooden bridges can be burned with fire. So down here in the south, this is the wooden bridge. It's been destroyed, and we can also see that there are some enemy catapults defending it. So I could attempt to rebuild this bridge, which would require me to use auxiliary infantry. We don't have any, but how do we do that? We demote somebody. It's that easy. So again, the problem is how are we going to deal with that? Because of the catapults, because the catapults will bombard my auxiliary infantry, and they're weak and squishy, so they'll all be killed almost immediately. So we're going to put our auxiliary archers over here, and we're going to put them on stationary formation so that they will have the range, especially because they're uphill. You may not be able to it might not be 100% clear because of the riverbank, the way it looks, and the angle, but we are going to have the high ground here, and as Anakin Skywalker will tell you, once you have the high ground, it's over. So we'll burn these catapults, and then our auxiliary infantry will be safe to begin repairs on the bridge. Let's also get our Centurion and Scout forward, as well as our Legionnaires, who for some reason got left behind here. So you can see the archers aren't actually doing anything right now. We just drop them in a stationary formation, and that's plenty of range to actually get some shots at these catapults, which should be going up for flames here pretty soon. Yeah, look at that. No problem at all. Let's try to get an angle on this one too. Okay. Yep. So now it's just a matter of time. While we're waiting, our Legionnaires are coming down. Let's also let's grab our spearmen. I think one of them's been a little bit weakened. We're going to take this one here, who's only got 17, and we're going to demote him. And once he's an auxiliary unit of auxiliary infantry,
Immediately.
we can now begin to repair this bridge. So there are stone bridges that you will encounter in the campaign. We will encounter in the campaign, but obviously they can't be burned. And also, we're getting some nice shots at these infantry. Great. So we can go ahead and build the bridge now. Hurry up, hurry up. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go. And also, because we have this nice high ground here, our auxiliary archers are in a good position to defend the infantry from any potential enemy bowmen that might arrive on the other side of the bank. Where are my Legionnaires? See, they had to take the long way because they're too heavily armored. They couldn't go through this marsh, so they had to go all the way around here. Here they come. Where's my physician?
I can heal the wounded.
Yeah, he's over here. So he's gonna need to heal up those Legionnaires. They got a little bit beat up. All right, how's the progress on this going? Of course, you always can check the hit points. We're over 60% there. So we have a few villages over here, so I'm thinking that the tutorial is going to ask us to take them probably, and then I know it ends with it asking us to take this fortress, which is really not much of a fortress because there's no walls there, but there's 2 defensive towers, and honestly it's no problem. The fortress we already dealt with was easier. This is just the tutorial. It's just to show mechanics.
Yes, sir.
We're not going to be moving there. So, win the field battle.
Yes, sir.
There's a field here, as it says, and we need to use our units properly. Of course, it has some tips right here. You're talking about, okay, pro tip, don't put your archers on the front line. But also things like you want to keep your physician close so that they can help. But you also don't want them... Oh, wait, the music kicked up. Are they attacking? And they're already attacking. I actually want to... Okay, it was just an infantry unit. That's fine. So I suspect there are going to be some barbarians here. In fact, let's go ahead and change this. So you see we pulled out the legionnaires. And now we attack. You want to definitely keep infantry between cavalry and your archers. As you can see, they are very flexible units. If I wasn't careful there, they would have definitely gotten back there. And they would have ripped my archers to shreds in moments. Alright, so now we're going to use our infantry to attack these bowmen. Instead, my wolf scout, poor wolf scout, not using him at all.
Centurion Caius Titus Rudus. Here are the reinforcements.
Black Zero, can you
Caesar
go
has
ahead
sent
and
to help
ban
in the
Gordy
hunt.
Wex, please? Thank you.
Mission objectives have changed.
Alright, now we have to assault the high ground. It's always harder to attack an enemy that stays on higher ground. Again, refer to Anakin Skywalker. Now, beyond these trees here, there's this road, and as it says, there is a high ground area before this village, which is going to be very difficult to deal with. Luckily, we have these reinforcements that we can use here. So I think that we're going to be able to deal with it. Of course, we are going to be assaulting high ground. Let's let our physician heal up, and in the meantime, we have my wolf scout here. I could have my wolf scout go forward and take a look, and we can just see just how far forward we can go before we run into any enemy defenses.
We are on the way. Yes, General.
All right, let's get the reinforcements moving up as well. We have quite a few legionnaires now. One of the things I like about this game, though, is the music. How you see how the music just picked up? That means he's being attacked by something. All right, so we can go this far before we begin to be attacked by enemy enemy archers. So we're going to tell everybody to stop. We actually could, with our auxiliary infantry, build some catapults right now if we wanted to, but we don't want to. So, where's the Hawk Scout? The Hawk Scout is really good because he allows the visibility needed for your archers to shoot uphill. But it looks like we don't have time for that, so we're just going to quickly rush up the hill. Uh-oh, yeah, we got a catapult over here. That's a big problem. We got catapults, we got warriors. We've got a lot of problems, man. Okay, yeah, our hero's under attack. You definitely don't want that. So let's pull him back. You definitely want to be careful about that. We could also come through this way and flank via the low ground. But I was actually expecting a lot more units to be up here. So let's just go ahead and
I am in command. Yes, sir.
go towards that garrison
For the Emperor.
and take it out.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I really was expecting there would be more units up here. Alright, so we're all done. Actually, and as the game says, we've completed the 4th tutorial. That's really all there is to it. Obviously, we're going to take this village here. We're going to use its population. We're going to build more things. Then we go over here and we defeat Dubalex. There's another village that we can take if for some reason we ran out of recruitable population, but that wouldn't really be happening. So that's all there is to it. Thank you very much for joining me in today's tutorial. This is going to... If you're watching this live, the next part of the series is not up yet, but for anybody who's watching this in the future, this should be on my Praetorians playlist, which I'll also have a link to in the description below, and you can use that to begin watching the actual campaign series here in Praetorians, which will begin with the crossing of the river Arar. And yeah, just thank you all for your time, and you have yourselves a wonderful day. Let me just stop the stream now. Okay, some nice art. Look it up. Bye bye.